All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin. All right, guys, and Bitcoin saw quite the pump today. We didn't get what we were looking for yesterday. This is 2 days in a row where we've had potential impulses invalidated. And yes, I was looking for that impulse to the downside, but it did never happen. The impulse to complete to the downside, but it never did happen. We did come up in this three-wave zigzag corrective move up to that 0.5, but we only saw a very small rejection and we kept pumping, breaking that area and hitting the golden pocket, thus invalidating the impulse to the downside. Now, what we have seen today is a pretty strong uptrend to the uptrend, and we are making higher highs and higher lows, but we are hitting into some key resistance now. And I would like to talk about this because we did take a short earlier today in the Discord. We were streaming when this happened, and I've been looking at now, if we zoom out to the 4-hour chart and we look at our range that we've been trading since after the Bybit hack happened, the Bybit hack impulse down. That's what I call this impulse down here. And you can see we're hitting into our Coinbase point of control. Now, in yesterday's video, I talked about this point of control where we could make one more move to come up to actually hit this point of control. Because yesterday we were hitting into Bybit's point of control, but we were not hitting Coinbase's point of control. And I have said to you guys many times that I follow and respect Coinbase levels more than I do Bybit levels. So you can see here we're above the Bybit point of control, but we finally hit into the Coinbase point of control. Also, you can see it is on Bybit, the anchored VWAP from the 49K lows, which is now going to be acting as resistance. And let's go ahead and talk about this push up today. So if we go zoom in onto the 30-minute chart, this does awfully look like a 5-wave impulse to the upside here in a potential bigger like WXY correction or double zigzag move. But let's look at this here. So we had our low yesterday into the golden pocket from these lows to these highs here. Hit the golden pocket, saw a bounce. Now, we did make that first push up in a wave 1, came down to the golden pocket for our wave 2. Our wave 3 bring us up to this high, hitting into the point of control on Bybit again. Then we saw a wave 4, which was a flat correction, A, B, C. The B wave taking out the highs of A in a B flat, in a wave 4, a zigzag wave 4 to the downside. And then we saw our wave 5 up to our Coinbase point of control, where we then were forming some bearish divergences on the chart. And once we got the confirmed swing failure pattern, I entered the short position. We did this live in the Discord. We were trading in the Discord, in Jason Casper's Discord. And so what we were looking at here, we were coming up to this area, and I did not, when we first hit into that point of control, I did not see enough on the charts to enter a short then. We were watching, our money flow still looked pretty strong. We did have the bearish divergences on the chart, but it wasn't enough for me. So we were waiting, just chatting for about an hour, waiting for the price action to develop. I was waiting for a small range to develop and waiting actually to take out these highs in a potential SFP, or even come up to 85.7, the 786 is up here, to look for a short. Well, when we got the confirmed SFP, what I was looking for in this area, we were watching a small channel that was developing. So we had our initial push down here, a break in market structure. Let me go ahead and grab that. I will show you that. We had our initial first like 5-minute break in structure here, right in this area, or you could even put it down here. We had our initial break in structure here. And so I saw the trend weakening just a little bit. Then after that, we were watching this ascending channel to the upside here, hit into the top of the channel with the confirmed swing failure pattern. Once we started closing candles below, and once we broke this channel, I shorted the second we broke this channel to the downside. So took the short there, calculated short position in this general area. Stop is above the high. And what we were looking at here, because we are seeing some bullish absorption on the charts on higher time frames on the 15-minute chart, I was initially just looking at this low here. And if we were to bounce from this low, I was going to take out some profit to cover my fees in case I got stopped out on the rest of it. But when we busted through this without seeing a reaction there, I decided to not take profit. You can see we came back tested it a couple times now, and have not been able to get back above that level. So I am still in that short position from this area, and we are just watching to see what's going to happen next on Bitcoin. So now I'm looking for a sort of ABC correction because we had our impulse to the upside that completed in our, where was it? Let's see. Actually, that's not the full impulse. We're on the 5-minute chart. So let's zoom out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, flat, 5 here. We had our 5-wave impulse up to this area, 5-wave impulse. And now I'm looking for an ABC correction to the downside to come hit our local golden pocket from the lows of, let's see here, actually, is that from the lows of wave 4 to the highs of wave 5 here? Just looking at this local golden pocket at first, because this golden pocket, you can see, is aligning very nicely with our VWAP close. Now, when our VWAP closed for the day, it snapped up to its new level. But this VWAP close in confluence with this local golden pocket is an area I am interested in looking for a TP level, just based off of some of the higher time frame bullish signals we are seeing. We have the multiple drives of bull div on the daily chart. So if we go out to the daily chart, we have confirmed those multiple drives of bull div on the daily. You can see here both locally, we have the lower lows, higher lows here. That's the bull divs, local bull divs, and then we have regional bull divs. I'm sorry, I couldn't get the word out there. And then we have regional bull divs with another lower low and another higher low here on the momentum waves, money flow curving to the upside. So what this is telling me is that we could see a bigger relief rally come into play over the next week or so. So because of the higher time frame bullish signals that we are seeing on the chart at major support, by the way, at the major support level of the pitchfork band, I am looking for a potential move up to the pitchfork midline where you can see our anchored VWAP from the all-time highs around there, and it would grab the liquidity of those semi-equal triple highs that are up there into that area of around 91K. This is where I'm looking for a potential impulse up to, but right now, because we finished this local intraday impulse to the upside, I am looking for a small corrective move. So this short that I'm in is just a scalp, looking for a small corrective move. Now, if we do drop to the, to our level between the golden pocket of the intraday impulse up, this area of $80,600. Well, what else do we know is at $80,600? If we zoom out and we look at that range, once again, let me just go on the Coinbase chart. And let's go ahead, let's get rid of that channel now. And let's go ahead, I'll get rid of this, clean up the charts, and I'm going to hide this here. And we just take a golden pocket from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse, 80.6, 80.5, and then we zoom out and we look at our volume profile, our range from the lows of the Bybit hack impulse. Let's go ahead and throw those on here. You can see that the value area low of the range, the bullish backtest of the value area low of the range, is at this golden pocket. So that will be a complete TP for me. Now, in yesterday's video, I talked about we are going to remain a little bit more bearish until we can reclaim that value area low again. You know, I said the bulls had their chance and they're screwing it up. Well, today the bulls kicked back in. They were able to push back up into this volume profile, hitting all the way into the Coinbase point of control. So now that we've hit into this Coinbase point of control, I am looking for the bullish backtest once again of the value area low to continue up to the 91K area with some stops along the way. 88K, 89K area with some stops along the way where we could see small retracements. Now, another level I am interested in is the 0.5 of the same fib pull from the lows of the intraday impulse to the highs of the intraday impulse. You can see that 0.5 is coming in right around that liquidity, that little drop from the wave 4 correction on our intraday impulse. So the first level I'm looking at is right here, the golden pocket where the VWAP close was. Depending on how we come down here, I might take some profit if we actually SFP these lows and start pumping. But really the level ultimately I'm looking for Bitcoin to drop to in a very nice ABC correction would be this 80.6 to 80.4K area of support. And if we do come down there, seeing local bull divs on the chart, I will completely TP my short and look for a long higher. So that is about it, guys. But let me go ahead and talk about our CVD and open interest because we are seeing some pretty interesting things on the chart here. You can see that we do have some bullish CVD absorption happening on the charts. Now, it's not the cleanest absorption, and I don't really like how our open interest has been decreasing here because the last few times I've seen this, it has invalidated that absorption. But you can see from the lows of the impulse, we have higher lows in price action, lower lows in our CVD, and overall higher open interest increasing, showing that there is people trying to short the market, especially since our VWAP touch today, where we bounced from the VWAP. We are seeing a lot of bullish absorption. Now, recently, this coming down is not a good sign. But overall, we are seeing bullish absorption starting to build on the charts. And this bullish absorption tells me that I should be looking for another higher low to come in on the charts before expecting another higher high overall. So this is what I'm watching with Bitcoin. As far as our liquidation heat map goes, let me go ahead and refresh this. You can see that we do have some liquidity below us. Let me go to the Model 2 heat map here. Model 2, and let's zoom out to like the past week of price action. Okay, so we did finally take that local liquidity above the highs that I spoke about in yesterday's video. You can see that local liquidity has been taken. Now, I do not like these double lows that are down here around 75K. I do have to say that. I do not like those double lows, and I do think eventually we can come back to take those because they're ugly lows, and when there's semi-equal lows down there, the market makers like see that as a feast. But let's go to the Model 3 heat map, and let's zoom out to the 1 month chart, and we're going to go to Bybit. And I want to talk about this because I've been showing this in the last few of my videos. And this, look at this liquidity up there. Look how much liquidity is above 89 to 90K. You know, this liquidity, I really think the market makers are not going to leave this there before coming to take these lows. So I can see us with our bullish confirmations printing on the chart now and confirming, I could see us making a push up to at least 90K and grabbing this liquidity before making a run at our lows. Now, we'll have to see how it reacts once it gets up there. But right now, the impulse today, the small impulse today we saw is a good sign. We're breaking back into the value area. And once again, guys, that value area around 80.5 is probably the most important level on the chart locally right now. If we can backtest that bullishly and hold it and flip it to support, we are probably going to continue higher. I don't want to say for certain, there's no certainty in trading, but this is the area ultimately between 80.6 and 80.4 is where I'm looking for a potential higher low to come in on the charts to continue up to first 85.5 and then break up to 90K, 91K, and then maybe even 93 to 97K. 93K is the value area low of our big all-time high range, 97K being the point of control of that range. So that's about it for Bitcoin, guys. A very short video update. I am going to be looking to take profits on those shorts where I explained, and I will be looking for a long if we have confirmation around 80.6 to 80.4. All right, everyone, have a good day. Stay safe trading out there, and I will see you probably Sunday.